I'm Scott Mason. Welcome to AGLife. You know, we've all heard the saying, you can take the boys out of the country.
You can't take the country out of the boys.
Well, tonight we're going to take the boys
and the girls
out of the country to a special event called Gate to Plate. Come along with us and we'll show you why.
So Gate to Plate is an event where all the local farmers get together for a special night, kind of a fancy event for a good dinner. Last year's focus was kind of on GMOs, non-GMOs. It was kind of a panel debate. This year is going to be kind of a comedic relief, so it should be a fun night for everybody. Let's go check it out. So Damien, you do comedic talks for a living, correct?
This is what I do for a living, Camille. In 1994, I was selling lighting fixtures in Southern California. I had a degree in agricultural economics from Purdue University. I won a Halloween costume contest dressed up as Bill Clinton. You're a little young, but he was the President of the United States back when you were a toddler.
Yes.
And I turned that into a comedy show, if you can imagine. Made up my makeup to fat padding and aging to look like Bill Clinton. So I became a political comedian. Obviously that started to change after 2000. Bill Clinton leaves the White House. I kind of poked around with some different things for a few years, but I always had this background because I had been a touring comedian in political comedy for all those years. So by 2003, 4, 5, I started putting this thing together where it was a presentation for agriculture, and my idea was I knew comedy and I knew agriculture. I was raised on a dairy farm in northern Indiana. I had a degree in agricultural economics, and I knew funny because of being a political comedian. So I decided, let's put this program together to do events such as this one right here in Owensboro, Kentucky. It's a niche. It's a niche that most people don't really understand that well, but there's agricultural meetings all around North America. I go and deliver presentations at those meetings.
Yeah.
I'm here with Warren Beeler, probably the most popular man in the room tonight here at the Gate to Plate. Warren, tell us a little bit about, you're going to be the speaker. Tell us a little bit what you're going to talk about tonight.
Well, I just took a new job, and the governor appointed me as the executive director of the governor's Office of Agricultural Policy, which is the one that's over tobacco money. But really what it is that connection between the governor and agriculture. And so tonight it's a perfect night because I get to kind of sing to the choir. I've got lots of farmers in the room. I think they told me this is the second time they've ever had this evening before, where they had 42 years of what we used to call Grain Day and now Ag Expo. So I touch on everything. I think what these folks need to hear is that we don't do a good enough job of bragging on ourselves. How proud I am of all these folks who produce so much more with less. Food just shows up all of a sudden and nobody thinks about it. And there's lots and lots of work that goes into it, and at the same time producing tremendous yield, yet taking really good care of the land and the water and the animals in the process. And that's what we do. I mean, we're a special bunch. 2% of the population feeds the rest of the world, and that's pretty neat.
So we're very happy to have Warren with us tonight, and I believe, Warren, are we your third or fourth stop for the day? Third. So we greatly appreciate you coming to join us. So if everybody will help me welcome Mr. Warren Beeler.
Now, you're a farmer yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
I got a farm in Caneyville. We got a wonderful place. Caneyville is we got a four-way stop, and nobody stops at because we all know where we're going.
Yeah.
It's that way. I was a hog farmer for 20 years, and then it got so good that I had to go to work, get a real job, and I've been with the Department of Ag now almost 17 until this last change. And so my farm at home is 220 acres, run a few sheep, basically a few cattle, and my wife and daughter take care of it most of the time because I'm doing stuff like this.
Here with my buddy Brian Cecil from Wright Implement here in Owensboro. Brian, you're at Gate to Plate tonight. Tell us a little bit why Wright's here tonight.
Yeah, of course, this is the second annual event, and we're just glad to be able to sponsor it. You know, a lot of the ag community comes out for this event, and you know, it's just one of those things that all of our customers, or a lot of our customers, I should say, are here. They enjoy the night, and then the expo follows tomorrow. And so it's a great night for all of us to get together, and the camaraderie, and just to have a good time.
Well, comparing this to last year, this is the second year, we mentioned second annual. The numbers look bigger to you. What does it look like?
Numbers look very similar. There may be a few more heads here tonight than last year, but it's a great turnout. We have, I think they sold 457 tickets, so you know, just shy of 500 people here. That's a pretty good turnout.
Right in the eye, and I said, "You play basketball?"
Well, we've had a ton of fun here in Owensboro at the Gate to Plate event. I know I've learned a lot, and hope we get to do many more events like this in the future. So we'll be back with more AGLife.
Hey, I'm Camille Lambert. I'm here in a big canola field today. We cook with it all the time. We use it in our salads, but what is canola? Today I'm in this big canola field and we're gonna learn more. So today I'm here with Jeff Rice. He's with Rice Agri-Marketing, and he is kind of the canola expert in this area. So I brought him out to a canola field with me. We're here in Utica, Kentucky at Hamilton Grain Farms. They have a beautiful canola field here. So Jeff, what can you tell me about canola here in this area?
Well, we've been growing canola for several years, I guess about 8 or 10 years now. And there's a company out of Georgia, AgStrong, that's been interested in our area about building a plant for several years.
Yeah.
And last year they built that plant, Camille, and with that created a lot of interest and a lot of people trying canola for the first time. We went from just contracting 2,000 or 3,000 acres to 30,000 acres of canola. So it's a good profit potential crop coming up for farmers here in Kentucky.
Before that processing plant got here, where did farmers take the canola?
Well, we delivered it to Trenton, where the processing plant was built, but we loaded the canola on rail cars from there.
Yes.
And then it had to go to Georgia to be processed, crushed and processed down in Georgia.
So it makes it a little easier.
Oh yeah, and it provides a better market because there's not that transportation cost to get it to Georgia now.
Yes.
It can be crushed right here in Kentucky.
Yeah. Quick ag fact, canola oil is the lowest saturated fat of all the cooking oils, so it's a really good alternative to using something like vegetable oil.
With AgStrong, they've got their own private label canola oil, cooking oil, and Solio is the name of it. Solio family farm grazed, and it's a healthy product. It's sold in Whole Foods and Costco's. The canola's grown right here in Kentucky. It's got, this coming year, it'll have a Kentucky Pride label on it.
Wonderful.
And it's, we're real proud of that.
And I see here, you know, family oils, they're all natural, no chemical additives, made from seeds, they're 100% GMO. You know, a lot of people are wanting to know what's in their food now. So this is a great local product, Kentucky proud.
Safe and family friendly, grown here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it's been a great crop for farmers. Wheat's been a good winter crop here.
That's what you usually see this time of year, those solid green fields, wheat fields, but canola, I mean, we've developed some better varieties for the area.
Canola, it's a very small seeded plant, and it's planted in September, the last half of September. The farmers will put it in, and it's important to get it up to about a 6-leaf stage in the fall. This plant is probably 7 or 8 leaf stage and plenty big to get through the winter.
Yeah.
It's different from wheat because its growing point is above ground. And
Yes.
wheat is below ground and a little safer to our harsh winters sometimes.
Yes, yes.
And we've been pretty mild this year on our winter, Camille. But
compared to last year.
last year was really cold,
Yes.
and we had some freeze damage on some canola, but mainly where we couldn't get our growing point established close to the ground. So
Yeah, and I know that's a big point with canola. I'm still learning on canola, but you want to keep that growing point, you know, real close to the ground. If you get it too high above the ground, that's when you're going to get some damage from the winter injury.
it's a tougher crop to no-till. We do a lot of no-till
Yeah.
wheat in Kentucky, and it works really good. And we can no-till canola, but you really have to work on your residue on top of the ground. You either have to have real aggressive row cleaners and go 30-inch rows, or some people have used baled, or they found a way to get those stalks off the top of the ground.
Yeah.
Some of the fields burnt, or silage. They've used silage and cut the stalks off. But it's important to monitor that residue and keep it where it won't establish that growing point up off the ground.
Yeah,
Very important
yeah.
that way.
Now I know one of the things you mentioned earlier is you have to get it planted in September. That's probably one of the hardest parts for farmers in this area. How would you recommend farmers work with that?
We're working with them right now, thinking about next year and
Yeah.
planting an early variety soybean or an early variety of corn. If you plant like a 2.8 or a 3.4 soybean, you can get that off in early September or mid-September, and then you've got plenty of time to get your canola planted. Or maybe 100 to maybe 110-day maturity corn. Get that planted early and then get it off early, and the earlier you get that corn shed,
Absolutely.
the quicker those stalks start breaking down,
Yeah.
and you can work that ground, and you'll have a better chance of getting your canola established.
Yeah, you got to
way.
get that good stand before it gets cold. Well, good deal. I'm glad that you could be with us today and share some more information on canola. It is an important crop, and it's going to be more important in the next coming years. We do have that processing plant now, and UK has actually done a lot of research recently, and they're actually showing that canola can do a lot better yield-wise than wheat can. So whenever you're going into soybeans after it,
The
So it could
soybeans,
be-
the double crops can
Yeah.
be better behind canola versus
Yes.
the wheat crop.
So it definitely is it could be a good alternative for this area. I don't think it'll work for every farmer, but it's definitely a good option to have.
Good new market for Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jeff, for meeting me out in this canola field today. I think we've all learned a lot. I know when I'm driving up and down the roads, I always look at these awesome canola fields, so it's good to get to learn a little bit more information. I appreciate your time.
Glad to have you over here in Davis County.
Good
Thank
deal.
you, Camille.
Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more AGLife.
All right, here on AGLife today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, guitars. We're here with the national thumb picking champion, Evan Twitty, and Evan is 14 years old. Let's talk a little bit about your career and what you've been doing the last few years, Evan.
Well, one of my favorite things to do is in July in Nashville, there is the Chet Atkins Convention. It's called CAS. It's an acronym, Chet Atkins Appreciation Society. And this past year, I was finally booked as a stage performer on there, along with the likes of Tommy Emmanuel and Tom Bresch and a lot of the guys who have been big inspirations to me.
You've had a chance to play the Opry as well?
Yes, I prefer to say it like that myself. I played at the Grand Ole Opry House, the new one, not the Ryman, but with the South Knox High School Choir there, and that was a big thrill for me.
So, Evan, who's some of your favorite guitar players?
Well, I've always been influenced by who most people consider the pioneer of thumb-picking, Merle Travis. But I've also always loved Elvis, watching him in the old 70s clips with James Burton, and of course Chet Atkins and Tommy Emmanuel, people like that.
14 years old, you've had a decorated career. What's the future hold for you now?
Well, I certainly hope that I can continue to go on my career, and I've got to play with some of the great artists, and I hope that I can continue to do that, and hopefully sometime soon make a name for myself.
Well, enough of the talking. Let's get down to picking and grinning. What do you say?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Well, I work all day for very little pay. I ain't got a raise in years. Then I come home for a little rest and find you standing there in tears. Your words don't match your actions, honey. Is it to be or not? Do you sympathize with me, babe, or is it all going to pot? Hey, if you don't love me, if you don't love me anymore, if you forgot about me, baby, why'd you open up the door? If you don't care about my feelings, why you trying not to let me down? If you don't love me, why you want me hanging around? To this dating scene with hope for you and me, but you've been running around with fellas hanging around with me. You took the love I thought so much of and flushed it down the can. Are we gonna try to work this out before it hits the fan? Hey, if you don't love me, if you don't love me anymore, if you forgot about me, baby, why'd you open up the door? If you don't care about my feelings, why you trying not to let me down? If you don't love me, why you want me hanging around? Biggest step. Yeah. Well, if you don't love me, if you don't love me anymore, if you forgot about me, baby, why'd you open up the door? If you don't care about my feelings, why you trying not to let me down? If you don't love me, hey, if you don't love me, oh, if you don't love me, why you want me hanging around?
Yeah, that's smoking hot right there. Now tell us where we can get your music.
Alright, I do local shows around here, so you can definitely come to some of my concerts, but I also have a music page, Evan Twitty. It's on Facebook, Twitty, just like Conway. And you can just message me through there and we'll get you hooked up with some of my CDs.
Well, man, it's not every day I get to play with the National Thumb Picking Champion. It's been an honor. Thanks for being on our show.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more AGLife right after this. Hi, I'm Scott Mason, host of AGLife. We hope you enjoy watching the show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Now we want to make it even better for you. Write us at AGLife at tristatehomepage.com. Tell us what you would like to see on future episodes of the show. And if you're a farmer or know a farmer that has a great story to tell, let us know that too. We'll see you next week on AGLife.